Okay, in this video, let's talk about demons. Before we get deeper into the topic though, please like, subscribe, share, post a comment or a question below. If you are looking to find your soulmate, please visit the link below, beyond-dating.com, to get a free copy of my electronic book. Well, an electronic copy of my first book, The Sex Education You Never Received, which is designed to help single men and single women find a good spouse. All right. Let's talk about demons. They roam the earthly plane. And I think how demons are created is they're rebels against God. They don't want to return to heaven. There's been some things going around the interwebs about turning your back on the tunnel of light. That somehow if you turn your back on the tunnel of light, you'll see all of creation and you can go and be free. That's a big spiritual trap. I think what happens is when people turn away from the tunnel of light, they're turning away from heaven. And heaven is where you go when you go through the tunnel of light. A great book that I highly recommend is Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls by Michael Newton, PhD. You'll love those books. Those are really good books, and I think they are accurate. I don't think our Heavenly Father is going to take us and pitch us into a fiery furnace because we don't get everything right in this life, you know? That's one of my heresies. I've got many more. If you're interested, maybe I'll do a video entitled Confessions of a Heretic. But if you turn your back on the tunnel of light, you wind up on this earthly realm. And I think you get trapped here. And I think that's where Satan gets you and gets you into his demonic realm. So the demons are set up in a hierarchy. And they are, it's an army. It's Satan's army. And I think all demons are male. So some of them disguise themselves as females, and they can be, I think, what people would call an incubus or a succubus. And they can, I guess, trouble people at night. And again, you're not responsible for your first thought. But a lot of folks get addicted to their demons, and they want to have, like, intercourse with them and stuff like that, and they think that they are. Well, most men don't realize that are being visited by these types of demons is that they're having sex with men. That's not cool. So you don't want to do that. But the main thing about demons is that they have one purpose, well, maybe three purposes, and that's to kill, steal, and destroy. To kill opportunities, to destroy relationships, and to steal joy from somebody's life. And that's not what you want, right? But the problem is, and this is really why I do a lot of my work, is that when children are not properly protected from the ages of birth to 7 years old, it really increases the potential for them to become possessed by demons, or to be, what's the term I'm looking for? Oppressed by demons. Because children, they don't have any filters. They don't have any ego protections. They start to develop these things, when they turn 6 or 7 in there, and they start to get older. But as babies, as young people, they rely on their mom and their dad, particularly their dad, to protect them from all of these things. Now, I'm not saying that moms cannot provide any protection. Of course they can. But the main protector for all families is the father. The father is supposed to be the shield over the wife and the children. That is how our Heavenly Father designed it. But today, we have so much sin in the world and so much attack on the nuclear family that this has kind of gone the other way. This idea of having the Father there to protect. So it's much easier for people to get infected with demons. And I'm going to, I guess, go out on a limb here, and hopefully none of my fellow students are watching this video, but a lot of people talk about, oh, mental illness, it starts in childhood. Well, I don't really subscribe to that mental illness. I don't think anybody, I think very few people are born into this world with something wrong with their brain that means that they've got a genetic disorder and they have to, take pills for the rest of their life to make them sane, Who's that good for? That's good for people who make drugs, for pharmakeia. And there's a lot of snake oil salesmen today. I mean, you can visit any allopathic doctor and get whatever you want that only has 15 side effects. I won't get into all of that at this point, but there's really no such thing as mental illness. PTSD, it's demons. Bipolar, it's demons. Multiple personality disorders, it's demons. ADHD, that's just an untrained mind. But there's a lot of things in the world that is not mental illness, it's demons. So what's a good sign that you have demons? Are you easily triggered? That's a good sign that you have demons. 2, do you ever black out or dissociate? You got demons. So let's go back to the model. The model is you got this kid, perfect kid, going along, doing what kids do. They do something to upset an adult. And let's face it, kids, they don't know anything yet. They're ignorant, right? So it's very easy for them to trigger an adult. But if they trigger the wrong adult, that adult could abuse them and hurt them. And that trauma drives the soul out of their body. Once the soul's out of the body, demons get in on a wound. It could be a psychological wound. It could be a physical wound. They get in on that wound and they start doing their work. Now, they cannot be there if somebody repents of sins and whatever. But at any rate, these demons can be in there and they create this pain. They lie. They tell these lies to their host to keep their host down. Like, maybe if somebody was hurt by their dad when they were little, they think, oh, my daddy doesn't love me. He hates me. I'm a piece of garbage. People carry this thought into adulthood. And so what do? They use drugs and alcohol and promiscuous sex and gambling, all of these things to make them forget about this thought, these lies that the demons tell them. There you go. There's your mental illness. There is the brilliance of solving all of the world's mental illness problems. Now, I know people can have brain damage. There can be like serious brain damage. There can be birth defects. That's a different video. I'm just talking about simple, plain old garden variety traumas that happen in childhood. What I call ACEs. You can check out my other video, my ACE video. I don't know how to do that link to other video thing yet. Maybe I need to work on that. But that's how it all happens. You don't need drugs. You don't necessarily need psychotherapy, although I think there are other healing modalities. But the main thing is deliverance ministry. So find yourself a good exorcist, or somebody to do a deliverance ministry with you. There's a lot of them on there. I should probably post some links in the show notes. I think I will to one of my teachers in this. I'll put it in the show notes. Okay, that's it for this video. This one's getting kind of long-winded and I'm near the 10-minute mark, so I want to end it here. Again, If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share. If you got something valuable from it, maybe share it with somebody, post a comment or a question below. And of course, visit my website, beyond-dating.com, if you're single and you're looking to find a good spouse. That's it for this video. As always, the light in me honors the light in you. Peace.